Welcome back, everybody, to Unconditional Surrender in Europe. This is Dren608, and I am doing a solo playthrough of the CUCU, affectionately known as CUCU strategy, where it stands for Cripple the UK and Collapse the USSR. Last time, at least the last couple things, we pretty much have kicked the West out of... Oh, I guess I should do the commercial stuff first. If you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. If you really like what you see, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notify button. You'll be notified when I upload videos or schedule streams. We are going into September of 1944. So we're getting near the end of the war. I fell into my own trap. I overcommitted to the Mediterranean. And we're not going to declare war here, so we'll get moving on here. The Germans have 42 production points. I have not been successful in strategic warfare. The Germans have actually chipped a couple of factories off the Soviets, as the Soviets have been trying to push themselves into Europe, into a position where they can do something to the Germans. The Allies did take back Gibraltar just recently, but they are way overcommitted. They have all three British armies are in the Mediterranean and one American army, which is roughly half the ground forces that the Western Allies have. I did try to invade here in Brest and Nantes in June of 44. In July, the Axis basically drove me into the sea, destroying the American armies. So now the Germans are free to overwhelm or try to stop the Soviet breakthrough in the east. Soviets have been fairly successful in this summer offensive. They've got this German army surrounded. There's not a lot of German armies left here to form up a line. So the Soviets are doing well, but the problem is that the Axis will be able to rebuild with all those production points. Most all of this is going to be rebuilt. These things will move up, and the line will reform, probably not as far east as I'd like, but it will reform to slow down the Soviet army. And that's where we stand right now. At this point, I'm not really going to support Finland. Turkey is kind of on its own as well. There's no real point to me trying to hang on to those this late in the game. I am going to give one to the Italians because they're down. They're soon to be down a production point, so them having a modicum of threat out here is, kind of nice. I do have an Italian navy that I put up here in Norway, which was a mistake. It should have gone into like Amsterdam or Denmark, so it would have an overland supply route. So I'm going to have to move that in my turn. Excuse me. The Western Allies are pretty much messed up here. They're out of position and running out of time to be able to do much. I'm really not planning on doing a lot to even kick them out of Spain. I'm just going to let them, if they want to fight me through Spain, I think I'd much prefer that than them fighting me through France. So, of my 42 points, Romanians only have one. They're going to probably need another, so we're going to give one to the Romanians. The Yugoslavs have quite a bit to move, so I'm going to give one to the Yugoslavs. Spain still has 3, so I think it's okay. Turkey has 3, I think it's okay. The Italians have some things to rebuild here, so I'm going to give them one as well. So I'm down to 39 with the Axis. And we're done. We're into the strategic warfare phase. I have not, I've only lost 1 factory. Soviets are down 3. Soviets want to use that Partisans to try and continue their offensive, so they're not going to go for it. So it's +4 to +1 because the Western Allies finally recaptured Kuwait and Basra in Iraq. So while the West is the UK has kind of reestablished itself with its will points and its production, it's out of position to really do anything with all that. Did make a mistake with the Germans last turn. I specifically put this guy into no supply, and I either skipped or missed the elimination phase. The idea was to eliminate this last turn so that here at the end of September I could build this armor back in Germany. So I screwed up there. It's a little minor thing, but that extra armored unit being able to be built back here in Germany might have made it easier to defend this line that I basically don't have at this point. I'm very, very fragile front here, and I don't know what I'm going to do to try and make that front be better. I do have some German aircraft over here. This one is cut off, and I probably am going to go ahead and try and see how much of the Soviet Air Force I can cut down. I did cut down the Soviet Air Force pretty well last turn. But yeah, I've got 1, 2, 3 German aircraft over here. One's in Spain, and then I have 1 and 2 here in the West. I don't know where my 7th aircraft is. 1, 2, 3. Oh, and I have an aircraft here in Scavenger still. That aircraft probably is going to have to come back into Germany because I think I'm going to need it over in the east. So we're not going to commit here, either one of us. So we'll move on. Germany lost factory, Allies. So the Soviets got a factory back. Now we're here where they're only a +2 and I'm a +3. I am down a factory. I want to keep myself at maximum production because I have a lot to rebuild and to move. So I will commit my submarines at this point and commit, and I get my factory back. So Germans will still be at 42 next turn, which is important, that they stay at that maximum production as much as possible. They're losing ground here. We're going to be facing, I've got Yugoslav to build, the Romanian to rebuild, 3 Italians, and then a whole lot of German armies that got eliminated last turn. Still I'm at 69 will points for the Germans, so it's still a long haul for the Allies to go. And now I just have to try and figure out a way to sort of stop this incursion stuff here. The Allies can't really do an invasion at this point because they don't have any surprise attack markers. So we're going to go ahead and take this German armored unit, and we're going to drop it probably right here, because we've got to try and form up some sort of line down here. Don't really expect to stop the Soviets, but I do need to sort of do something anyway. And for the Allies, I was thinking of taking this guy. I really need to get the British Army back to England, or into a position where it can invade someplace. I really don't know. Probably bring it up here. So we're just going to come up and support the 8th Army. Like I said, I'm way out of position here. Soviets, do they have anything that's way far away? They don't want to spend points on to move to the front. Not really. Yeah, this is. I really don't see one for the Soviets at this point. So we'll get out of that. And then we got to do the Axis part of the turn here. So 4, 4, 4. I almost think I need to start bringing the German Air Force home. Well, here in Spain, there's not a real good defense here. Other than where I'm at. Because he's not isolated because he has Tangier. Not good. Hi, Ramon. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do here. The Germans are in delay mode. I mean, that's all they really care about here. So I guess I'll do this. Just put the Spanish there. Not really going to assault that because I don't have the oomph. I do think I'm going to take out the RAF though. Just to make that British armored unit not be quite so effective. That's pretty much it for Spain. Not a lot to do here in the Mediterranean. 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, I could run this armored unit away, but I think I don't really care. It's going to go away at the end of this turn. Like I said earlier, I really should have removed that in my last no supply phase. I kind of just missed it. So now I have to try and make some decisions over here. I only have 3 airplanes. So there's going to be some Soviet air power involved in the combats over here. This German airplane could fly away and be available for defense. I really don't have a good defensive line here. Yuck. I think I'm going to have to give up my +1 up here. Well, first thing I'll do is I'll just move this fleet. No escorts. Move out to here. In Copenhagen, I can intercept the Sea Zone 9, and I can intercept any Soviet stuff. So I'm going to put the Italian fleet here in Denmark. And then the Western Allies can go ahead and try and beat it up. We'll send the American carrier fleet after it. It costs 2. So now he has to stay on the same sea zone, so he'll just go into Amsterdam, I guess. I didn't get through, but he needed to be on a landline because I can't really afford to try and supply him through the sea. And the Western Allies can probably just pound him into the dirt, which is fine. Wondering if I need to just start sending aircraft east so that I can try and slow down the Soviets. As long as I get poor weather in October, I think I'll be okay. It's if they get another fair weather turn in October or November, I'm in deep trouble. Yeah, I think it's time. I just need to get him to the east as fast as possible. Best thing I can do here with this guy is just continue to hit Bomber Command, just to cut down his sorties. Oh, I got lucky. So I got 2 on Bomber Command, so then I will go ahead and take off another sortie on the American 8th Air Force. Doesn't matter, I only have 1 sortie left anyway. So now best he can get is 3 bombed markers in here. So that gives me the choice of bringing this airplane over to maybe possibly do something to the Soviet Air Force and or be available for defense. So let's see how my aircraft do. This guy will attack this airplane. So I'm -2, he's -4. I need a 5 or 6. If I throw in the jets, can I get to a 0, so then it's a 3 or better, has a chance of knocking him out completely. And then I can fly him away. Then I only have 1 aircraft in the north. Yeah, I think we're going to go ahead and throw the jets here. And it didn't work. So that was a bad thing. So before I just go ahead and commit him to his ultimate doom, we'll see if I get lucky here. Nope. Okay. Well, in order to try and redress the line, I really have to just go ahead and sacrifice this airplane, I think. Oh, wait a minute. Let's go check out my... If I pull this guy out, how far can he get? 1, 2. Can he reach there? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, he can reach there. Okay. So I could reach this airplane. Actually, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to commit to that airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I wanted to hit that airplane. Dang it! Doing it wrong. And I can't go back. Yeah, because I wanted to actually go up here where I could have gotten that DR2 and had it make a difference. So anyway, we'll go for this one anyway, up here. Burn that, commit it. Got 1. Then we'll have this airplane go after this one. I'm trying to get another DR2 so I can save some sorties. There we go. So now I can save some sorties here. This airplane can actually fly out of there, so he'll be available for defense next turn. I'm going to have to give him an airplane, or some air sorties, because I just can't reach that one in the back. So I guess I'll fly this guy back here. We will have this front line one take out this airplane. Oh, DR2. God almighty. I think I want to have at least one air sortie for down here because I'm going to be very thin. I'm going to be thicker up in the north, so I'm going to go ahead and just do that airplane and cut him down. Now, I know there's a lot of people that don't think this is a wise idea to use up your aircraft to negate his. The Soviet Army's a lot less scary without airplanes. I mean, yes, he's got a Partisans. He's going to punch a hole with a Partisan somewhere. There's not a lot I can do about Partisans. He doesn't have any heavy artillery, and he has 3 tanks markers. So most of his guys are +1s or +2s for the shock, and then he's got a handful, 5 Guards tanks armies that are +3s. The inherent German armies around here are all like +2s. So much harder for him to get anywhere useful. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8. I want him to be able to retreat. I'm trying to figure out if I should be using this armored unit to try and make this guy retreat. And then pull some infantry. Got to pull infantry south and north. I've got a very fragile line here that the Soviets should be able to bust through. So I guess I need to use the armored unit at this point. He doesn't have any air to support him. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'd be +4 to +3. And hope for the best. Yeah, I guess that's what I have to do. I mean, I could try to go this way, but I'm not trying to actually eliminate this. I just want it retreated. So we're going to go here. Could throw him an airplane to try and guarantee it. I think maybe I should do that. I think I should do that. +6 to +3. See if I can get a good die roll. So I got my defender retreated. That's what I wanted. I just want him back of space. Now I can put the armor, rather than advancing and keep it attacking, I want to use these last 6 movement points to put the armor someplace useful as far as a backstop goes. Because I'm really not going to hold this line. Plain and simple. I just can't. All I can do is slow the Soviets down to let the rest of my German army catch up to me. And possibly make a defense here along the Dniester. So I think where I want to be is like right here. I'm not going to go there. See if I go here. End my turn there. Take the 7th Army. Is going to move to here. Okay. I think the 2nd Army has to come here. And this garrison army is going to go die in Minsk. And he will die there. I'm not planning on holding Minsk. Unfortunately, this armored unit's going to have to be in the front line. That's bad. What do I do here? Well, the 14th will just die if he stays there, so he's got to move out. So maybe move him to here. Huh. Not a lot of real good choices here. I think I'm going to stop. I'm just going to sit there. So he'll blow through this, and then he'll probably attack the Italians. Start to flank me this way. I'm looking at possible surroundings here. Vaslov unit. It's really not a good place to defend here. Not a good place to defend anywhere along this front here. So it looks like the 10th Army is going to probably end up being sacrificed because I can't move him. But he will stay in supply. So maybe have Vaslov try to limit the breakthrough potential of the Soviets. Maybe I put Vaslov here. A couple garrisons. You know, they probably won't slow down the Soviet offensive. The idea is just to make him use up some movement points. No, that's probably not a good idea. Okay, where do I put that for? Maybe I just stick him in Riga. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for rebuilding. That's 5. And then I've got a ton here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 from 32 leaves me at 29. I really don't have a lot more that I can move. I think we will stick him in Riga. And this guy needs to get on the road into Romania because he's going to have to defend Romania. Help defend Romania or slow down the Russian advance through, Soviet advance through Romania. He's going to go here. I'm not going to be able to rebuild all my troops, I don't think. This armored unit, I think, needs to go here. I think I'm going to put this infantry unit here. Okay, that leaves me at 27. So I've got 5 on the board. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 would take me down to 15, which would be 5 airplanes, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and probably this one 5. And we just give up on the whole Western bombing. We're just going to have to live with losing some factories at this point, I think. I might cut down building a garrison unit or something, depending on what happens. So even with 42 points, and giving some points to my allies, I'm in deep trouble here. He can blow through this. I just realized he can just blow through this. Oh dear. It's the best I can do with them. The Yugoslav, however, can go down and try and hold. Can't go into Romania, but I can try to limit any sudden breakthrough, I think, by being here. Okay. And then the Italian is there to try and slow down any advances. Things are not looking well for the Axis, for the Germans here. But I think that's the best I can do. Double pass. I'm going to keep that on there so that I make sure that I can do that. I'm not going to declare war on anybody, though. I think everybody's Soviet Union's in supply. Yeah, I don't need to keep him supplied. Or him. They can stay at limited supply. He's just going to stay at no supply so that he goes off at the end of the turn if the British don't knock me out. He's got to stay in supply, and he's got to stay in supply, so yeah, that's what we'll do. Always trying to supply too. Okay. So this guy can't supply through the convoy. He's got to supply himself. He's kind of pointless. He's got 4 sorties. The British want to just make sure he stays at 6. Oh, that's what I forgot to do. Yeah, we'll go ahead and intercept it. So put him back, and then he'll do it again, but he'll be at 6 sorties. I screwed up again as the Axis. Ta-da. Done. And then that should be everybody. Okay. I screwed up again. An Italian Air Force can actually reach the American Air Force. And I keep forgetting to have it just make it go up to 6 so that it's not helping in combats. Part of the problem with playing solo is sometimes you just forget the things that you saw last turn, and then you get to thinking in a different mode, and you're just not paying attention. All right. In the west, so we're just going to go do this attack. The Italians are going to save their tanks for the Eastern Front, but they will throw their airplane in. The Americans throwing their airplane in. We do an air combat. Each took a sortie and defended him, or retreated him. No good place to retreat. Convoy has to abandon itself here. There's no good place for the convoy really to go. I guess we'll put it there. Well, while I'm here, I might as well try and just eliminate it. The Italians will go ahead and try and make it hard. Now he can't defend himself anymore. Not going to use the tanks. I get the DD. I could keep going this way, but I'm not. I'm going to go back to Tripoli so that I'm in a port. So when I get my fleets and stuff and my surprise attack markers, maybe I can actually do something from some of these ports. All right, the British. Go ahead and fly this airplane up here. And then we're going to try and help this armored unit along. He's +2 and halved. I'm +3. I'm going to go ahead and use one airplane here, so I'm +5 to +2 halved. Once I get his retreat. Does not want to go here because he'll get isolated, so he's just going to go here. Move up, attack him again. I don't want to use the airplane up, so I'm just going to attack him at +3 to +2 halved. Let's retreat it again. I could keep chasing him. I know he's going to go away at the end of the turn, so I'm just going to go ahead and take Tobruk and then move one up the road. So I know he's going to go away at the end of the turn, and then I'll be able to run this guy. Oh, do I want to leave Tobruk? Tobruk is 1, 2 sea zones. Could possibly invade into Italy. Maybe I don't want to go one down the road. I think I'm just going to stay there. I'm going to enter the fort that I just captured. Or do I want to enter the fort? No, I don't want to enter the fort. I'm not going to go inside the fort. Reason being is I want to have my... Oh, he's going to go away at the end of the turn, isn't he? So it doesn't matter. Okay, so I've done that. I mean, I suppose I could go up here and try and do something about these Turks, but if I'm not careful, I get myself isolated by the Turks. So I don't really want to take any chances right now. It's like if he goes running this way, then I can run back down this way to defend things. Even at this point, I'm not sure that it's worth it for the Allies to even worry about defending in the Middle East. Okay. Ship 34. Do we have any... We have some American troops that we could bring into Gibraltar, since we don't have anywhere else to go. So maybe I try to do a breakout here with the Canadians. This Spaniard. I need to save that for the Romanians, so it's going to be +2 to 0. No effect. And again. No effect. And again. Trying to get another port here so I can bring another unit in. No effect. So 3 attacks, no effect, stay put. Okay, so I won't be bringing American troops in here. He's on. He's on. Not sure where I'm going to go with it in October with these American troops. And the idea was to have some sort of a bridgehead that I could build up through the winter. Maybe I need to get this guy. Let's get this guy. Put him in Cork. And now, to intercept that convoy really wouldn't do anything because he's already flipped. The army's already flipped, and it's American size. So I think I want to keep the surface action for when it's invasion time. So no, we're not going to intercept that guy. So he's going to go there. And then the convoy's going to come back here. And the convoy's going to move over here. Because I don't have any more American troops coming. Just markers. This guy. Naval transport. I think we'll just go into Belfast. And we'll just end our turn there. Okay. Bombing. Because we can. There's nobody to stop us. Go get our 3. Go get our 3 bomb markers here. And I don't see a lot else I can do. Oh, yeah. Guess we'll have Fighter Command go take care of that Italian fleet. Yeah, and 1 more sortie because I can get back to 0 sorties by hitting that fleet and knocking it down. Okay. So we took care of that. Yeah, I'm kind of stuck here in the west. I mean, I'm taking over Libya in the next turn or 2, and then I have to figure out if I'm going to do some kind of invasion into Italy to get rid of the Italians. Because I'll get 2 more will points off them. They'll be down to 4. So I'll have to hit 2 cities. Which will be tough to do. Alright, I think I'm done with the west. I don't think I'm going to voluntarily, and I don't think I'm going to declare war. So we'll just skip those. Okay. Supply all. And yeah, these guys have to be. Why are they? Oh, he's not tracing across the Med because of the airplane. Okay. So it looks like I've got to do this supply run over here. No. As long as he's escorting, I'm not going to do anything. But because of the way the mechanics of the game work, something that you need to do in the BGA version, I've stated this before, in the Vassal version, you can just tell your opponent, look, I'm going to escort everything. And he'll say, okay, I'm not going to intercept if you're escorting because I don't have good intercepting chances that way. So then you just ring up the number of sorties that go with escorting each one of these convoys, and you're done, and you can move on to the next phase. In the board game arena one, you've actually got to do the physical traces. So we're just going through the mechanics here. This is boring, but it has to be done. And he'll say no. I've had a couple of opponents say, why don't you just say no in order interceptions? I'm like, because then you won't use your fleets. And I want to make you use your fleets. they just don't seem to understand. They're like, is this making me waste all this time? It's like, that's part of the point. It's to make you use up your fleet sorties. That means your fleets will all be one less sortie next time when you're using them. They'll be at -1 sortie instead of at full. So, I mean, it's important to do that. And if you forget to do a confirm escort, then I will whack your convoy, up to 6 sorties or something. So it's just a tedious process that we have to go through. I really don't like this particular feature, but I don't know of any way to get around it. I mean, at least I only have to do, I can say one, no more interceptions for that particular convoy. And then, it takes care of itself. This airplane, just to go the same way. Once I get across the map there, I can actually take one of these fleet convoy combos and go put it over on the Middle East, and then everything should be supplyable out of there. I don't think I can intercept anything else. Oh, the fleets. And there's no more interceptions. So I have these guys take care of everything out here. Now we're to the Soviets, the fun part. So last known fair weather turn. Question is where do I drop the partisans? Do I want to try and bust through this armored unit up here? Because I have basically one air support attack here that I can use somewhere. I'm not sure if I want to try and break here with the partisan in Vilnius, or if I want to try and get this armored unit down here. I think this makes a bigger hole down here, but we're going to do some of the simple stuff first. First, we're going to just have the shock army attack this guy. We're +1 to 0. I'm not going to use my tanks for that. I'm going to get 2 attacks at it. And who is that? The 9th Garrison just got himself an Iron Cross. Alright, well, stop that. That was, I expected to get a retreat out of that. This is not good. Not good at all. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't want to use tanks up here. Sir, sir, Well, maybe we try and see how well we do down here. Let's see if we can blow up this infantry at plus. Oh, cancel. I'm going to do that. We're going to move the airplane up to Kiev. I think this is going to be the most important battle here. And as the Germans, I kind of agree. No effect. Oh, just trying to get him to retreat. There we go. Got to defend a retreat. Now Germans have to decide something. If they retreat backwards, straight back, they'll be adjacent to the armored unit, which means not likely those two will get isolated. No matter how I retreat, this army down here, the German 8th Army, is going to be isolated one way or the other. So we are trying to delay the Soviet offensive as much as possible. I can't retreat in a way that I keep him not isolated, so I'm going to try and protect these units up here. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to drive off this German infantry. To get a good attack on this armored unit. And I'm not really going to be able to do that. Huh. Things that make you go, huh. Well, I think we'll just keep trying to push him back. Effect. Effect. One more time. No effect. Okay, so maybe I don't want to go after this armor. Maybe I'm going to use the Partisans up north. So I'm just going to sit there. 4. I think I'm going to have this guy go here and attack here. See if he can just get rid of this for me. No effect. Not rolling really well. Boy, I can't get it. I can't even get a DR out of this. This is there we go. Finally got a DR. Took me lots of attacks to get it. I think I'm going to use the guards unit to do this so I can save the shock. Because now I'm a +3 to a 0, so I don't need to use any tanks on this. 1. This took me 3 attacks to get a DR the last time. 2. 3. 6 attacks he's survived so far. Wow. So 3, 4, 6, 7 attacks to get rid of him. It's pretty good for the Germans to hold up that way. I don't think I want to go in here. Do I? I think I'll go over here. Let's just end my turn there. See, it's 1, 2, 3. It's 2 for the swamp, 1 for the river, and 1 for the guys. That's 4. So this guy got attacked twice, but at very bad odds. Or we could try to take Kishinev. What are the Romanians at? They're at 5. hoping to break through a little better so that I could get to things. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. So that's still only one attack. It's basically one attack into each space to try and break the Neister. Or I can drop the Partisans on that armored unit and try and take it out at +3 to +2, and then he would be retreated. Not good here. I mean, I'm gaining ground, but I'm not gaining it fast enough. I really needed to have this guy retreat a little bit more. Yeah, this is not going well. So do I have this guy this on, or do I move the shock army up? I have the shock army up to come hold terrain. Let's just see if we can get this guy. Well, I don't want to give him the choice, do I? I don't want to give him the choice. I can do that. What I'm looking at here is I do not want to give him the choice of retreating into this swamp hex. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and move this shock army to here. Hello, to here. And just go ahead and attack. Actually, I shouldn't do that either. Cancel that. Undo that move. I have a better move, I think. Okay, so this guy's really not going to do anything. I'm just going to move him up here. Alright, he goes there. Now this guy goes here and then attacks. Because he's now +3 net to 0. Hopefully we get a DR here. No effect. He's getting many cross of irons because, oh my god, he's holding up ridiculously well. Alright, we gotta try and take him out with the guards tanks. Now he's +4 to 0. Finally. Okay, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4 attacks to take out a garrison unit. Yeah, I'm going to take that space. Do I go after the Italians? I'd only be +2 to +2. I didn't place down the Partisan, so I can't use him to go after that. I could go up here and go +2 to +2 on the infantry unit, see if I get lucky. So basically I only get 1 attack if I go there. I get 2 attacks against the Italians. So let's go against the Italian. Come on, move here. Attack the Italian. So I'm +2. Italian goes, no, I want to stay alive. And I got an AS, so that worked. From the Italians' point of view. So from the Soviet point of view, things are not going well here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Alright, so we're going to have this guy here and attack. I'm going to use the tank. It's +2 to +2. Maybe I should make that an assault. Maybe I should make that an assault and cancel this. Let's make this an assault. No, he can attack twice. If I make this an assault, I have a better chance of getting a DR, right? Because I could add 2. He'd be 2, 3, 4, 5, +5 to +3 or +2. trying to figure out how I can break through this front here. Do I waste the partisans on that infantry instead? Since he can't retreat? And give up on this idea of partisaning out his armor? Maybe that's what I've got to do, because then I would break across the Duna to the north and be threatening to envelop him completely. So he'd have to pull back some to get a line this way. Yep, okay. That's what we'll do. Since it's not working in the south, we're going to do this first. We're going to drop the partisans on this dude. Then we're going to take this guy, go up here and attack him. I get 2 attacks this way. Throw in a tank. So +2 to 0, trying to get a DR here. Got a DR on the first shot. Good. Don't think I'm going to waste a tank on the next one, because I'm 0 to -2. Let's just do that. And didn't get him. Okay. So now we're going to have the shock army. Oops, he's done. Now we'll have the shock army attack him. You get off 2 attacks at +1 to -2. Got a DR. Okay, so we got him. So I can go into that hex, and I can still attack here. +1 to 0. No effect. Okay, he's done. Damn. Well, I'd get him isolated at that point, so I think I'd have to do this. I only get 2 attacks this way, but if I throw a tank, I'm +3 to 0. Oh, Jiminy Christmas. Come on. Use up my tanks. I'm done with this. And I got stopped. Wow. Wow. And wow. Alright, well, let's have this paltry little infantry unit try. Wow. Really good die rolls. Not getting any splits. Wow. Vaslov held out in Riga through September. That's very bad for me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. So I'm not going to make a breakthrough here, I don't think. Not a real one, anyway. I guess we take our shots at Kishinev. And they will commit. This is +1 to +1 now. And I still got my defender retreated, which is what I really kind of wanted to see. No good place to retreat here. I guess I retreat back towards the river? No. Or do I go here? I'm in trouble now. In trouble now. Well, same concept is up above, I guess. I'm trying to keep the armored unit from getting isolated. No. No, I have to go here. And yes, we're going to take that. Attacking the armor is bad because it'd be +3 to +4. But going ahead and banging on the... trying to get lucky. All I got was a retreat. I think he's just going to stay there. That's the best position for him. All I've got is a 0 to -2. One attack. And got a no effect. I run out of resources to effectively do anything here. Just need to move some guys up to threaten the German position. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So why don't I go here? That's something. We have the shock army there. So why don't we have armored unit go in first? 2, 3, 4. You can attack twice. Okay, so we have the shock army can only attack once. So he's going to go ahead. He goes here. Come on, move. And attacks here. I think he gets to attack twice. Yeah, I have 3 movement points. +3 to +2. Let's try it. No effect. And do it again. And I got a DD. Yay! I'm not going to take the hex because why? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. Run out of supply. Unless I make his airplane fly away, which I was hoping not to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, in retrospect, I probably should have done this first. Huh. What have I got to build for the Soviets? 2 there. 4. 15. I really don't have a lot I can do here. I mean, basically I blew a hole open in the private marshes here, but I don't see any way to really exploit it. 8, 9, 10. So I can't quite reach a city to get myself in supply, which was the idea there. To be able to reach a city and get myself in supply. So we've broken the Dniester in the south. I guess I could curl around to the north here. I'll leave the shock army here. Now, in order to stay with proper supply, because I'm not going to cut his supply, he's going to be able to do anything he wants with that airplane. So I think I want the line. 1. So I could go there. I could get off an assault. If I go here, call an assault, and take this armored unit, move it here. airplane. We just fly back to. Where do I need to be? Got two in the north, two sort of in the center. I want to be in a place where I can affect his air force, so maybe here. Call an assault. I think I'm only +3 to. I don't have any armor left. Oh, that's why I needed to be able to move that guy. Yeah, I don't think I have a good assault here. Yeah, it's +3 to +4. It's terrible odds, but we'll roll the dice anyway. Yeah, it's not. Okay. Now I'm at 16. Which is bad, which means all I can do is my aircraft, and this guy is a thorn in my side. So I can't really rebuild my army. We're done. Well, we are going into October. I suppose I could try and do this one. Yep, let's try and do this. We're going into poor weather anyway. This was the last chance I'm going to have to do anything here. Let's attack this guy. So it's +2 to +2. Not the greatest attacks, but oh, but it does put me in a better position to like move out and capture this city and stuff like that. So it makes the Germans have to move their armies. All right, I'm at 14. I can flip this guy over in 4 airplanes, so Germans will have enough airplanes to counter my air. Nothing I can do about it. Notice I'm not trying to take out Turkey or Finland. That's a trap that you can fall into with the Soviets, to try and go after Finland or go after Turkey this late in the game. In the summer of '44, you've got to be trying to get as close to Germany as possible because you're only going to get, a limited number of fair weather turns. And if you can't get across this weather line, there are even less fair weather turns. Right now, the Germans are holding me right along that weather line. I did break here. I broke across the Duna, so the Germans are going to have to line up out here somewhere. I did not push hard. I did not get a big enough push down here. Did kill 1 unit, but it wasn't enough. I killed like 3 German units in a garrison, but it just wasn't enough. Didn't get the units in the right places, I guess. Romanians are on the verge of collapse. Fortunately, since the Russians had claimed Bessarabia before, they have all 6 of them. They get a factory out of this, but I don't lose any will points for the Romanians, so I'll be able to build my Romanian infantry here in Bucharest. I'll be able to move with German infantry up here next turn. These guys can retreat back behind the line, depending on what the weather is. He does have this backed for poor weather, so that this armored unit probably won't give up the factory. But I should be able to get a halfway decent defensive line here in October, because I have infantry up here that's coming in. I have an armored unit that's coming up here, so looks like I might be able to actually form up a line. All right. I think the Soviets are done. They want to be able to bring up at least 4 of their airplanes. Do I want to voluntarily eliminate an airplane that's way far back? I have to think about that. I'm definitely not going to declare war on anything. So, is everybody in supply? Did I leave anybody screwed up? Nope. Okay, so you see the German 2nd Panzer was eliminated. I meant to do that last turn so I could build it this turn, but I didn't do that. So the Germans have 27. First things first, we're done with the eliminate. Yeah, I don't want to eliminate anything else. Soviets, 2, 3, 4, 5. This guy doesn't seem to be. I'm thinking I should take this guy off since I can't replace him anyway. So the 3rd air, and then I can build him at the end of next turn like in Odessa or Minsk, close up to the front. So I'm going to go ahead and take off the 3rd air. And then we're done. Now we do replacements. First thing is ground troops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I've got 22 left. I do have 7 airplanes, but I want to be able to build ground troops. So an airplane someplace has to not be brought back. The place that I'm least afraid of is probably Madrid. What is in Madrid? 2nd Luft. So not the 2nd Luft. 1st Luft. It's over here. The Luft Reserve. What's this? 6th. 6th Luft. It's the 3rd Luft. What do I have left? 10. What do I have here to build? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have 7 I definitely want to build, so I can do one more airplane. So I think I'm going to do the 5th Luft. And we're just going to let the bombing campaign do its thing. Okay, the Italians have 13. So they can actually bring back one of their fleets. Maybe this one. It doesn't really matter. This. Oh no, I have junk to build. I have 3 guys to build, so airplane convoys don't really matter. I got 3 guys to build though. So maybe the 2nd Fleet. 3 guys, so I can do 4 more. I could do another fleet. What the heck? Let's do another fleet. Just for kicks. Oh no, I can't do that. Undo that one. I was looking at the Germans with 7. No, he's 6. He needs to have 3 to build things so I can do a convoy somewhere. Let's just do the 2nd convoy. Just for kicks. Alright, so I'm done with these guys. Germans have a lot of ground units they need to rebuild. Allies are fun for the Americans. Just click down the list. Launching all over the board. The British have 31, so Bomber Command, Airplane, Convoy, Fighter Command, Med Fleet, and I still have 8 points left. Okay, I'm done. Soviets, they're not going to build a new unit, but they're going to flip this guy over, and then with 12, they're just going to do the 4 airplanes that they have. And next turn, they'll be able to build another airplane, hopefully. They're done. Now we go, he can upgrade an armored unit. See, I have 1, 2 here. I have 1, 2 here. I think I need to have another one here to kind of push through because this is a little bit more open terrain. And I don't have a regular armored unit up here to upgrade. My regular armored units seem to be down here. So one of these two, I'm thinking the one that's adjacent to his armor needs to be the upgraded one, right? That means I'm a +3 in fair weather, +2 in poor. Alright. Alright, let's go to Italy. We're going to build us some infantry. Then we'll go over to Romania. Oh, I was going to move this guy out of Belgrade. Oh well, I guess he'll be built in Nice. The Germans are not even dreaming of ever rebuilding that surprise attack marker, but we do need to rebuild some stuff here in the east. When does he get his... So all the surprise attack markers will be back in October. So I do need to have something in the west to help slow him down. So we'll send the 11th Army over here. One. I really think I'm going to need the SS to slow down the Russians if they come up with a fair weather turn. I don't know. Guess I have to build one in Venice. Got 5 left. I might have to put another infantry over in the west. Alright, we're gonna put that SS unit there. We're gonna put the Para up here in Königsberg. We're gonna build another infantry over here. Can always rail it back if I have to. But where? Probably in Dusseldorf. And the last infantry we'll put Danzig. Okay. So we're done. Soviets don't have any points, so they're done. Okay, so what we got here is fair in the desert, of course, fair in the warm zone, and fair in the mild zone. And the allies, Western allies, now have 3 surprise attack markers, so they will be able to try and pull off an October invasion somewhere. Probably go right back into France since everything's committed to the east. So we'll have a French front through the winter. That's my thought. I will think on that. I am officially retired as of this month, so you will probably see more streams of this on a fairly regular basis until we finish it out. Soviets had a couple of very spectacular breakthroughs in July and August, and then in September it didn't quite go as well. They did get across the Dniester in the south, and they basically have broken the Duna in the north. But by the end of September, you really want to be on this where this weather line is, this dotted line right here that my mouse is going down. That's where you want to be at the end of September, because as you can see, in the fair zone, or in the mild zone, it became fair. And if you were right on this line here, and it's fair weather, you can just keep the offensive going. By not getting there, I'm dealing with poor weather here. There's a 1 in 6 chance I'll get fair weather in November, but by then it probably won't matter because the Germans will basically have reformed their line, and it'll be a grinding attrition war to try and push my way through upper Romania, Hungary, Poland, and getting into Germany. So there you have it. So that was September 1944. Oh, what am I going down there for? I have to get to the logo. There, we have the logo, GMT logo, and all that good stuff. So if you like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. You really like what you see, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notify button. And yeah, until we meet again, stay safe and bye-bye.